What if I told you that one small penny could change your life forever? The 2009 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, could be worth up to $999,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stick with me, because today I'm going to reveal why this penny might be sitting in your pocket right now, ready to make you a fortune. You might be wondering, why is this penny so valuable? After all, a penny is just, well, a penny, right? But here's the thing, what you think is just loose change could be worth thousands, maybe even millions, if you know where to look. In fact, this 2009 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is one of the most highly sought-after coins in today's market. But how did it get so valuable? Let me take you back for a moment. In 2009, the U.S. Mint produced a series of pennies with a special design to commemorate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. But not all pennies were created equal. The 2009 no mint mark penny, that's right, the one with no mint mark, was a rare mistake that collectors are now paying top dollar for. These pennies weren't supposed to exist. And because of that, they've become highly desirable. Imagine this, you're cleaning out your old coin jar, just going through the motions when you stumble upon a 2009 Lincoln penny. You glance at it quickly, assuming it's just another ordinary penny, and toss it aside. But hold on. What if that penny is worth a lot more than you think? Are you willing to leave up to $999,000 on the table just because you didn't know what you had? If you're anything like me, you've probably come across a penny and thought, great, now I have more stuff to clutter up the house with. But that mindset could be the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and living a life of financial freedom. Now, let's break this down. The 2009 Lincoln penny, without the mint mark, is rare because most pennies from that year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which usually stamps a P mint mark. But some, like the ones you could have in your collection, were mistakenly left without the mark. The error wasn't discovered until months later, which is why it's so valuable now. Let me put it in perspective, a regular 2009 penny is worth just 1 cent. But the 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $999,000, depending on its condition, grade, and demand from collectors. Yes, you heard that right, up to $999,000. Imagine finding that in your change jar. But here's the catch, not all 2009 pennies are worth that much. There's a very specific set of conditions that make the coin truly valuable. If your penny is damaged or poorly circulated, its value will drop significantly. So how do you know if your penny is one of those rare, highly valuable ones? That's coming up next, so don't go anywhere. Now that you know the value, let's talk about what you should do with it. The first step is to check the condition of your coin. Is it in mint condition or showing wear and tear? A pristine coin with no signs of corrosion, scratches, or other damage will fetch a much higher price. If it's in great shape, congratulations, you could be sitting on a small fortune. I know what you're thinking, should I rush to the bank and check every penny I can find? Well, you might want to hold off for a second. Remember, we're talking about the no mint mark version of the 2009 Lincoln penny, so don't get too excited about finding treasure in every loose coin. Once you've confirmed that your penny is worth something, the next step is to find out where you can sell it. There are many places, from online auctions to coin dealers who specialize in rare coins. But here's something important you need to know, the market for rare coins is incredibly competitive. So you'll want to do your research and find the right buyer who will give you the best value. Remember, it's all about timing and knowing how to present your coin in the best possible way. But here's the big secret I'm about to reveal, the right time to sell your coin could increase its value exponentially. How do you know when that time is? Stick around because I'm about to share the ultimate strategy for selling your rare penny for top dollar. This could be the game changer you've been waiting for. I want you to imagine something, you find this coin, you sell it for thousands, or maybe even millions, and finally, you can say goodbye to financial stress. You can live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. This isn't a fantasy. It's possible. The only thing standing between you and financial freedom is knowledge, and now you have it. Remember, you've got the power to transform your life with just one coin. So take action today, and who knows? Maybe your 2009 Lincoln penny is worth more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any valuable tips on rare coins. And if you found any pennies that might be worth something, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Who knows, you might just be sitting on your own little gold mine. Are you holding on to a 1949 Lincoln penny? What if I told you this simple coin, which most people would overlook, could be worth up to $996,000? That's right, $996,000. But here's the catch, not all 1949 pennies are created equal. Stick with me because in this video, I'm going to reveal the secrets that could turn your dusty old pennies into a fortune. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in. Imagine you're cleaning out a drawer, and there it is, a 1949 Lincoln penny. It looks just like any other penny, right? Maybe you've had it for years and have no idea its true value. What if this very penny could change your life? You see, this is where the story gets exciting. Most people don't realize it, but a coin that's almost 75 years old could be worth nearly $1 million, if it has certain characteristics. But, here's the thing, finding these rare pennies is not as easy as it sounds. So, what makes the 1949 Lincoln penny so special? It all comes down to the mint mark. If your 1949 penny has no mint mark, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. But why is that so important? Let me explain. Back in 1949, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark, so that's the one we're talking about today. Most of these pennies are worth just 1 cent. But some of them are worth so much more. Why? Because of their rarity, condition, and the exact moment they were made. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I've got one of those pennies in my collection. Is mine worth $996,000? Well, hold that thought. The truth is, condition is everything. The higher the quality, the more it's worth. Pennies in mint condition, especially those graded by professionals, can fetch astronomical prices. In fact, there are auctions where these pennies sell for up to $996,000, and they're not just once-in-a-lifetime finds, they're out there, waiting to be discovered. How many of you are still digging through your old coin jar right now, hoping to find one of these? Raise your hand. Just kidding, I can't see you. But I can imagine the excitement. Alright, you've stuck with me this far, so let's talk about how you can turn this into a serious profit. First things first, don't just toss your 1949 pennies in the junk drawer. You need to get them professionally graded. This is critical. A penny in good condition is far less valuable than one in uncirculated or proof condition, but here's the kicker. The grading process is often the step that most people skip, and it's costing them a small fortune. You see, people often overlook the subtle signs that can dramatically increase a penny's value. A small scratch here, a slight discoloration there, and suddenly, your coin is worth a fraction of what it could be. But when graded properly, your coin could unlock doors to wealth. Now, let's talk about urgency. The market for rare coins is volatile. Prices are constantly changing, and if you wait too long, you might miss your opportunity. You don't want to wait until everyone knows about the 1949 Lincoln penny. Get yours evaluated now, before the secret's out, and I'm about to tell you exactly where you can go to sell these coins and maximize your profit. But first, let's look at some real-life examples of people who have made huge profits off of these pennies. Could you be next? Before you go, remember, the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth hundreds of thousands comes down to knowing what you have and taking action. Don't wait, don't hesitate, take a closer look at your pennies today. You could be holding on to the key to a wealthy future, and in this world, timing is everything. So, are you ready to make a fortune? What if I told you that one single penny could change your life? A penny worth up to $992,000. That's right, we're talking about the 1960 mint mark Lincoln penny. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's real. And it could be hiding in your pocket change, your drawer, or even in that old coin jar you've been ignoring for years. That I end this video, I'm going to show you exactly what makes this penny so valuable and how to spot it. So, grab your magnifying glass, because if you've got this coin, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Stay with me till the end, because you won't believe where the value of this coin is headed next. Before we dive into the unbelievable value, let's break down what exactly makes the 1960 Lincoln penny so special. This isn't your ordinary penny. It was minted at the Denver Mint in 1960, and while it may look just like any other Lincoln penny, there's a very subtle difference that could make it worth a small fortune. This mint mark, found on the reverse side of the coin, indicates it was made in Denver. However, the story doesn't end there. Some of these coins were mistakenly produced with a double die obverse, meaning the image of Abraham Lincoln is doubly stamped on the coin. Now, imagine finding a coin with a clear double die error in your collection. Not only is it a historical anomaly, but it's a coin that could skyrocket in value. And here's where the magic happens. A minting mistake is exactly what collectors dream of. Mistakes like this one don't just make coins rare, they make them extremely valuable. Now, you're probably thinking, how much could this penny really be worth? You're in for a shock. The value of a 1960 double die penny can range from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. But get this, some rare 1960 pennies have been sold for as much as $992,000. I know that sounds insane, but I'm not kidding. These aren't just some random sale prices, these are real auctions where collectors and investors have bid fiercely for these ultra-rare pennies. You see, the market for rare coins like this is growing. People are actively looking for these pieces of history, and they're willing to pay big money for them. And here's where things get interesting. The number of people looking for these pennies is increasing, which means the value could skyrocket even higher in the coming years. But here's the catch. You need to act fast before everyone catches on to this hidden gem. Now, I know what you're thinking, great, I better go check every penny I've ever owned. And while that might be tempting, keep in mind that not every 1960 penny is going to be worth a fortune. You can't just walk into a coin shop with a pocket full of pennies and expect to get a six-figure payout. I wish it were that easy. So, how can you tell if your 1960 penny is the real deal? Here's where the process gets crucial. You need to know what to look for. First, grab your magnifying glass and closely inspect the mint mark. The D should be clear, and if it's a double die error, the image of Lincoln should appear doubled on the front. If you've got a double die penny in good condition, you're in luck. The next step is authentication. You want to make sure it's legitimate, and the best way to do that is by getting it graded by a professional. Grading your coin will not only confirm its authenticity, but it can also help you get the highest possible value when selling. But here's the tricky part, coins in mint condition, those that have been well preserved, are far more valuable. So, if your penny has been sitting in a jar for decades, it might have a higher value than one that's been in circulation for years. But wait, what if you don't have a double die penny, and you're thinking this whole thing was a waste of time? Well, stay tuned, because there's a little-known secret that could still turn your collection into something worth a fortune. I'll tell you about it in just a moment, but first, let's go over a few red flags that could signal your penny is not worth the big bucks. So, what can you do now? Here's your chance to make a move. If you think you might have a 1960 penny that could be worth something, don't just sit on it. Get it checked, graded, and get it listed for sale. And remember, time is ticking. The longer you wait, the more you risk missing out on this golden opportunity. Now, most of us think of pennies as little more than spare change, right? You might have found a penny on the sidewalk or tossed one in your coin jar at the end of the day. But what if I told you that some of these tiny coins are worth so much more than their face value? And not just a few cents more. I'm talking tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let me take you back to 1967. The year when this rare penny was minted, well, sort of. In 1967, there were plans to release the Lincoln penny with a mint mark, indicating where it was made. But due to some production issues and an unusual mistake, a small number of 1967 pennies ended up without that mint mark. That's right, a simple error that turned into a goldmine for those who knew what to look for. Okay, I know what you're thinking, what's the big deal? How can a missing mint mark be worth that much? Well, here's the thing. Most of the 1967 pennies have that mint mark. They're common, regular pennies. But those few pennies that slipped through the cracks with no mint mark are incredibly rare. And rarity is everything when it comes to collectibles, especially rare coins. Now, let's talk numbers. The market for these rare 1967 no mint mark pennies is booming. In fact, some have been sold for upwards of $990,000. Imagine holding a coin worth nearly $1 million in your hand right now. How would your life change if you could cash in on that kind of windfall? You're probably wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare pennies? Well, here's the trick, it's all about the mint mark. When you look closely at your 1967 penny, the mint mark is usually located just below the date. If it's missing, you might have one of the rarer coins. Now, before you get too excited, there are other factors that can affect the value, like the coin's condition, its overall rarity, and its appeal to collectors. But don't worry, I'll break that all down for you. But here's the catch, these coins aren't just lying around everywhere. They're rare, and even if you think you have one, it's not guaranteed to fetch top dollar unless it's in good condition. So how do you know if your penny could be worth a fortune? Well, I'm glad you asked. Alright, stop for a second. You probably have a drawer full of old pennies you've ignored for years. So, here's a question for you, how many pennies do you think are hidden in your house right now, just waiting to make you a millionaire? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably excited and a little anxious to get your hands on that 1967 penny you might have. But here's the thing, time is of the essence. If you've got one of these pennies, you need to act fast. The value of rare coins is constantly shifting, and just because you have a valuable coin today doesn't mean it'll hold the same value tomorrow. The market is competitive, and every day someone else could be finding that very same penny. Don't wait around and miss out on the chance of a lifetime. Now, before you rush off to check your coins, let me tell you how to maximize the value of your 1967 no mint mark penny. I've got some insider tips that could help you get the most out of your coin, but you'll have to stick with me until the end. In the next few moments, I'll show you how to authenticate your penny, get it appraised, and where to sell it for the highest price. You'll learn the exact steps to take to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. Plus, I've got a surprise for you at the end of this video that could change the way you look at your entire coin collection. Are you ready to turn that old coin jar into a money-making machine? Stay tuned, because you're not going to want to miss what I've got next. In just a few minutes, I'll reveal the top places to sell your rare 1967 no mint mark penny, and I promise you, some of these places will shock you. You don't want to miss it, trust me. But first, let's take a look at how you can tell if your penny is really worth the fortune you think it is. Have you ever looked at a coin and wondered, could this penny be worth a fortune? Imagine finding a 1968 mint mark Lincoln penny in your pocket or collection, and it's worth close to $1 million. That's right, $988,000 for just one coin. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, no way. It's just a penny. Hold on. You're about to learn why this seemingly ordinary coin could change your life forever. But first, I need you to stick around, because what you're about to hear could make you a small fortune. The catch? Only a few people know about it, and I'm going to show you exactly how to spot it, before someone else does. Let's dive in. The 1968 mint mark Lincoln penny may look like your everyday change. It's copper, it's a penny. So, what's so special about it? You see, the 1968 penny was produced in large numbers. But here's the kicker, not all 1968 pennies are created equal. The 1968 mint mark version, with that tiny S stamped on the coin, is the one you need to look out for. And here's why, In the early 70s, there were major mistakes in the minting process, errors that would make certain coins worth more than their weight in gold today. But here's where the plot thickens. The 1968 penny wasn't supposed to be struck at all. It wasn't intended to be released to the public, making the few that actually got out extremely rare. In fact, the market value of these rare pennies today could reach as high as $988,000, and that's not a typo, Now, you might be thinking, okay, sure, but how can I tell if I have one of these rare 1968 pennies? Well, the good news is that you don't need to be a professional numismatist to spot it. But there's a catch. Only a small percentage of people actually know what to look for. You see, what makes these coins so valuable is their rarity, but more importantly, their unique characteristics. The 1968 Lincoln penny wasn't mass-produced, it was struck by mistake, and only a few of these mistake coins ever made it out into circulation. So, if you happen to find one, there's a chance you could be holding a piece of history. But, don't get too excited just yet, because here's the twist: not all 1968 pennies are worth millions. There's a specific detail that could skyrocket its value. You need to be looking for the perfect condition. And I'm about to tell you exactly how to grade it, but before we get to that, let me ask you this: did you know there are over 1 billion pennies made each year in the United States? That's right, 1 billion. So how do you stand out from the crowd of collectors looking for rare finds? The answer may surprise you, and I'll reveal it in just a few moments. Let's break it down. If you have a 1968 mint mark penny, how do you determine its worth? In most cases, a regular 1968 penny in average condition is worth just a few cents. But when you start getting into uncirculated and pristine examples, things get exciting. That a coin in mint state condition, meaning it looks almost as good as the day it was minted, can be worth a few $100s. However, we're talking about the rarest of the rare. The ones in perfect condition, with no signs of wear or damage, are the real game changers. And here's the kicker: if you happen to find one of these in perfect, uncirculated condition, it could fetch nearly $988,000 in today's market. But the question is, how do you make sure you don't miss that one in a million coin? Now, I know what you're thinking. But wait. Do I need to be a coin expert to spot this? Well, no, you don't need to go full-on detective mode just yet. But let me ask you this: have you ever found a coin so rare, so valuable, you thought, is this my ticket to a private island? Well, we're getting close. Keep watching. This is where things get interesting. Let's talk about how to find this golden needle in the haystack. First things first, take a close look at the mint mark. If it's an S, congratulations, you've already crossed one of the hardest hurdles. But now, you need to check the condition. Does it look fresh from the mint? No wear, no scratches, no discoloration. If so, you might have something valuable. But here's the critical point: the 1968 penny's value depends on demand. As more collectors realize the potential value of this rare coin, prices have been climbing steadily. And guess what? The value of your 1968 penny could explode in just the next few years. The market is growing, and rare coins are hotter than ever. So now's the time to act. But here's the twist. The real kicker is coming. Not everyone knows what to do with a rare penny once they find it. Do you sell it right away? Do you hold on to it for a few more years? What's the smart move to maximize the value? The answer might just shock you. Stay tuned to find out how the smart collectors are making millions off pennies like these, and how you can too. Remember, you're not just looking for any penny. You're hunting for a rare treasure that could completely change your life. Keep your eyes peeled for that 1968 mint mark Lincoln penny. If you find one, don't just sit on it. Get it graded, and see where it stands in today's market. This could be the first step towards a future of financial freedom and wealth you've only dreamed of. So, start checking your change today. Because the next $1 million penny could be right in front of you. Hold on to your seat, because the coin in front of you could be worth as much as $985,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? You're probably wondering, how is that even possible? Well, what if I told you the coin in your pocket right now could be sitting on a fortune, just waiting to be discovered? But only if you know what to look for. This isn't a joke or a get-rich-quick scheme. This is the real deal. So, could you have a small fortune tucked away in your change jar? Or even hiding in your wallet? Let's find out. Let me take you on a journey of discovery, and by the end of this video, you'll know whether you're holding onto a hidden treasure or, well, just a penny. It's 1972. A year that seems long gone but holds a secret to some of the most valuable pennies you'll ever find. If you've ever come across a 1972 Lincoln penny, you might have thought it was just another coin. But what if I told you that there's one version of this coin that's anything but ordinary? One that could potentially make you thousands, no, millions, of dollars? This coin is special because of a small detail, the absence of a mint mark. The mint mark is a tiny letter on your coin, usually found on the reverse side, that indicates where the coin was made. In 1972, most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which had the D mint mark for Denver or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. But here's the catch: there are rare versions of the 1972 penny that should have a mint mark, but they don't. That's where the magic lies. That missing mint mark makes the 1972 Lincoln penny one of the most sought-after treasures for coin collectors and investors alike. But finding one is no easy task. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How can you tell if you've got one of these rare 1972 pennies in your hands? First, look at the date. It should be clear as day, but don't just look at the date. This is where your treasure hunt gets exciting. Flip it over. Take a close look at the reverse side. Does it have a mint mark? If there's no D or S, then you might have yourself a rare coin. The next step. Check for signs of wear and tear. A penny in mint condition could fetch a premium price. But even coins with some wear, if they have the right features, can be worth a substantial amount. You see, the key to this coin's value lies in its rarity. Only a very small number of these unmarked pennies were ever made, and fewer still have survived the years in decent condition. So, if you're holding one of these coins, you're holding on to history, and the potential for something far more valuable than just pocket change. Okay, now that you're staring at your coin like it's about to reveal a secret message, let me ask you something. How many times have you grabbed a handful of pennies and just tossed them in a drawer? What if that boring penny is now worth more than your car? Bet you're rethinking those drawer tosses, huh? Here's where the excitement really builds. The 1972 no mint mark penny can be worth a small fortune. How much, you ask? Well, it can range from a few $100s to, get ready for it, nearly $985,000 if it's in top-tier condition. That I know what you're thinking. How in the world can a single penny be worth that much? But it all comes down to demand and condition. The highest graded 1972 no mint mark penny has fetched nearly $1 million at auction. Can you even imagine that? A penny. A single penny. But that's the reality of coin collecting. Rarity plus condition equals value. So, where does this leave you? Well, here's the kicker. Time is of the essence. If you have one of these rare pennies, it's not something you want to sit on for too long. The market for rare coins is booming, and if you wait too long, someone else might beat you to the punch. It's not about luck, it's about knowing when to act. If you've got a penny that could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even $1 million, don't wait. Get it evaluated. Get it in front of a collector who understands its true worth. Before you go running to check every penny you own, I need to tell you something. There's a twist to this story. A secret that not many people know about when it comes to these rare 1972 pennies, and it could mean the difference between making thousands or walking away empty-handed. Stick around, because in just a moment, I'm going to reveal exactly how you can get your 1972 penny appraised, and how to make sure you don't get ripped off by unscrupulous buyers. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now don't panic and start Googling how to get rich off pennies. I'm about to share some real tips to get you the most out of your rare finds. No, we're not talking about buying a yacht off one penny. But you could pay off your mortgage. Just wait. So, how do you cash in on this hidden treasure? Here's what you need to know. You can't just walk into a coin shop and expect them to pay top dollar for your rare 1972 penny. No. You need to find reputable buyers who specialize in high-end, rare coins. Use trusted platforms to get your penny appraised. Check online marketplaces, auctions, and even specialized dealers who deal in rare numismatics, but here's the secret I promised you: never settle for less than your coin's true worth. Do your research. Check prices on similar coins. Make sure you're talking to the right people. This is your hard-earned money, and you deserve to get the best deal possible. And remember, don't get discouraged if you don't strike gold immediately. You might need to wait for the right buyer, but when you do, that penny could pay off in ways you never imagined. So there you have it, your 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny might just be worth a small fortune, and it could change your life. Will you take action now? Will you check your pennies and uncover your own hidden treasure? It's time to get started. Take the next step today. Who knows what you're holding in your hands right now? Don't wait. That small investment in time could lead you to financial freedom. Now go out there and find your fortune. Are you holding on to a fortune without even knowing it? What if I told you that a single penny, from 1975, could be worth nearly $1 million? Stick with me until the end, and I'll show you why your next coin search might just change your life forever. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Imagine digging through a box of old coins you've kept for years, maybe just tucked away in a drawer. You think they're worthless, just clutter, right? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth as much as $980,000? Yes, you heard that correctly. A penny, one of the smallest coins in existence, could be worth more than your house. But here's the catch. Not all 1975 pennies are created equal. The one you're looking for has no mint mark. Let's start with the basics, the 1975 Lincoln penny. It seems like just another coin, doesn't it? But it's not. Because there's something rare about this particular year, and I'm not talking about every penny stamped in 1975. No, we're looking for one very specific detail, a penny that was struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark. You see, in 1975, most pennies were made in the Philadelphia Mint, but they carried a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a tiny batch of them didn't. They were produced without any mint mark. That's right, no D or S to indicate where it came from. And it's that little oversight that could be the key to unlocking a life-changing fortune. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have just tossed pennies into a jar or a drawer over the years? Maybe it's time to go digging. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You find a few dirty coins that have some sentimental value. Or, you find a gold mine. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to the facts. Now, here's where the excitement kicks in. You may be asking, why would a coin with no mint mark be worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity. In the world of numismatics, coin collecting, rarity equals value. And in this case, these 1975 no mint mark pennies are incredibly rare. Experts say that only a handful of these pennies exist. A handful. That's what makes them so valuable. The current market value for one of these rare coins can be as high as $980,000, yes, nearly $1 million for a single penny. But don't get too excited just yet, finding one of these is no easy task. In fact, there are only a few known examples of this penny in top condition, but here's where the urgency comes in. If you think this is a 1 in a million chance, you'd be wrong. There are collectors out there actively searching for this penny, and they're paying big money for it. If you want to sell, now might be the perfect time. The market for rare coins is hot, and every year, these rare pennies are becoming harder to find. Now, I can hear you saying, I've got one of those in my pocket. Well, hold your horses. Let's take a closer look at what makes a 1975 penny really worth big money. Because, spoiler alert, it's not just about finding one. You need to know what to look for. So, how do you know if your penny is the one worth up to $980,000? It all comes down to a few key factors. The penny must be in excellent condition. A worn-out penny isn't going to get you top dollar. This is where it gets tricky. If you have a 1975 penny with no mint mark, make sure it's not a counterfeit. The rare ones have been verified and graded by professionals. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin in higher grades can fetch higher prices, but the real kicker? It's the authentication process. If you find one of these rare coins, you're going to want to have it professionally appraised. Without proper certification, no one will believe it's the real deal. This could be your chance to make a fortune, but only if you get it verified properly. But wait, before you go racing to your coin jar, there's one last piece of the puzzle you need to know. What happens if you find one of these rare 1975 pennies? Well, let's just say you might have to make a decision: sell it for a small fortune, or hold on to it and watch its value grow even higher. In just a moment, I'll reveal the best way to sell your rare coins for maximum profit. But first, let me tell you about a hidden danger that could stop you from making a sale before it even starts. Don't let this rare opportunity slip through your fingers. The 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny is out there, and someone is going to make a killing. Will it be you? That penny you've been throwing in your jar for years could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable? Well, it's not. Today, we're diving into the 1982 mint mark Lincoln penny, a rare coin that could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Stick around to find out if you're sitting on a goldmine, or just a coin collection that's worth a lot less than you think. Imagine you're going through a pile of loose change you've collected over the years. Coins from your pockets, maybe your kid's change jar, or even leftover pocket change from an old purse. And you find it, the penny. It's worn, maybe a little scratched, but something about it catches your eye. What's this? A 1982 Lincoln penny? Could it really be worth something? Now, let's back up a second. You've probably heard the hype before. People talking about rare coins worth hundreds of thousands or even millions. But let me tell you, this one is real. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you might miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. So, what makes the 1982 so special? The answer might surprise you. It's not just any 1982 penny. This one is a rare double die error. But before you rush off to check your penny collection, let me explain exactly what that means. The 1982 Lincoln penny was minted with an error, an imprint that resulted in a double image on the obverse side, making it much rarer than your typical penny. Here's the kicker: this is no ordinary flaw, it's a production mistake that only a select few pennies had. And that mistake has turned these pennies into extremely valuable collectibles. Now, why should you care? Well, because that little mistake has driven the market price of a single 1982 penny up to nearly $978,000 in some cases. Think about that for a second. What's in your pocket right now? Is there a potential fortune sitting right there in plain sight? But don't get too excited just yet. While it's tempting to think every 1982 penny is a winner, not all of them are created equal. So, what makes this error so valuable? It all comes down to the quality of the double die and the condition of the coin itself. That's where you come in, and where the big money lies. Now comes the important part: how do you know if your 1982 Lincoln penny is worth anything? If it's just a regular coin, you're looking at 2 cents. But if it's the error coin, you could be holding on to something huge. First, you want to check for the double die, meaning, you'll notice the letterings and the date on the coin are blurry or doubled in appearance. A subtle sign but crucial. You also need to check the condition of the penny. A coin in excellent condition with clear double die markings will fetch the highest price. Think grade 65 or higher. If you find one, don't just rush to the nearest coin shop and sell it for a quick buck. I know, the temptation is real, but patience pays off. You need to get it graded by a professional coin grading service like the PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the more your coin could be worth, but wait, don't go anywhere just yet. There's a little twist to this story that you won't want to miss. Could there be another coin even rarer than the 1982D penny that's still sitting in your collection? Let's find out. Now that you know the secret behind the 1982D Lincoln penny, your journey isn't over yet. In the next video, we'll dive into some even rarer pennies that could be worth millions more than this one. And trust me, if you think the 1982D is impressive, you won't believe what's out there. So, do you have a 1982D penny hiding in your change jar? Or could it be something even more valuable? Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because you won't want to miss the next big discovery. Yes, you heard that right. A 1992D mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $974,000. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just be holding your own ticket to financial freedom. Don't blink. You won't want to miss what's coming next. You see these pennies every day, right? In your pocket, on the sidewalk, or hidden at the bottom of your coin jar. But what if one of these pennies holds an unimaginable secret? It's almost unbelievable, but the 1992D Lincoln penny is among the rarest coins you can find in your change, and it could be worth more than a brand new car, a luxury vacation, or even a down payment on your dream home. Here's the kicker, most people don't even realize the value sitting in their pocket. That's right. A penny, literally worth pennies to most, could be sitting right under your nose. Let's break it down. The 1992D penny is a regular coin, no different from the millions produced in Denver that year. But, here's where it gets exciting. There's a small but significant error that turned this penny into a highly sought-after collector's item. What makes it so valuable? Well, it's not just about the year. It's about the D mint mark. If your 1992 penny has the D mint mark, it's from the Denver Mint, but here's where the magic happens. There was a small, unnoticed minting flaw that happened in 1992, and coins like these have skyrocketed in value. Now, let me tell you the story of one man who stumbled upon this penny, not knowing the fortune it held. He had no idea. One day, after cleaning out his old coin jar, he took a closer look at the coins. The same old pennies. Same old coins. Until one caught his eye, the 1992D Lincoln penny. He didn't think much of it at first. After all, pennies are pennies, right? But then something told him to research just a little deeper. He checked the coin online and discovered something jaw-dropping. This was no ordinary penny. He had unknowingly found a coin that, in pristine condition, could fetch a fortune. And guess what? That penny. It sold for over $974,000. Can you imagine the shock when he realized that something so small, something he could have thrown away without a second thought, turned out to be worth more than some people's entire houses? Now, imagine if that was you. Think about the possibilities, selling a penny for a life-changing amount of money. It's not just a dream. It could be your reality, but here's where it gets tricky. You have to know what to look for. The difference between a regular 1992D penny and one that's worth a small fortune lies in the details, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to check for. Now, this is the part you've been waiting for. How can you spot the 1992D Lincoln penny that could make you rich? It's all in the details. And let me tell you, those details are incredibly easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for. First, let's talk about the condition of the coin. It's got to be in great shape, meaning little to no wear and tear. The more pristine, the better. The better the quality, the more valuable it becomes. Second, take a good look at the mint mark. If you see that small D on the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial, you're in the right territory. But here's where you need to pay close attention. The error is subtle, but important. If the D mint mark looks different, maybe slightly doubled or misaligned, then you've found the treasure. The error is what makes this penny so valuable. But wait, it gets even more interesting. This coin's value can vary dramatically depending on its condition and the rarity of the error. That's why it's so crucial to get your hands on a certified coin grader, someone who can verify the worth of your penny and help you get top dollar for it. And here's the thing, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to find these pennies at their peak value. There are fewer of them out there, and as time passes, these coins are only going to become more rare. So, what's the next step? How do you turn your pennies into a small fortune? Don't just sit there waiting for the opportunity to pass you by. Get up, start searching, and get those pennies appraised before someone else grabs them up. But here's the catch, this kind of opportunity doesn't come around every day. The coin market is competitive. Will you be the one who lets this chance slip away? Or will you act now and secure your future, and if you think you've missed your chance, think again. I'll be revealing some more hidden gems in upcoming videos that could change your financial future forever. So, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell because you won't want to miss the next one. What if there's another 1992 penny waiting in your jar right now? Will you be the one to find it, or will someone else snatch it up first?